Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. Today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and I did more pulls on the Imitation Medal deal. Again, go back to my video just to reference it, just because there's a lot of notes and a lot of considerations to take into account before you pull into this medal deal, but I thought it was worth it to pull at least a few more times just because Imitation Medals, they're just so powerful in this game. They hold almost a timeless value, and if you get good traits on them, it's not like you're just getting good traits on the copycat medal, but you're getting good traits for the medal it's copying. So for example, if I have a supernova medal that doesn't have ground enemy defense minus 60, but I have a copy medal that has ground enemy defense minus 60, it's pretty much like having the supernova medal with the special attack bonus of the copycat medal, but it also has that ground minus 60 on it, which can be crucial for certain events such as PvE, such as the expert level challenges, such as Quest 13 and any of the Organization 13 events. So I just thought it was worth it. Again, there's a lot of considerations to take into account, so please check out my previous video if that's really what's on your mind and if you think you should pull for this. So what we are going to do today is I am going to show you my current pulls. So I did 3 off-screen pulls, and then I'm going to show you traits, and we're going to just go from there. So as you can see, I reset the counter, so I pretty much got one of the medals. So let's go ahead and take a look at the pulls, and here are my screenshots of them. So this was the first pull that I did. For the copy medal, I got HD Vanitas. Again, we were hitting within that very small, I think it was 10% chance of getting something really good. So that includes tier 6s and higher for the copycat medals. So we got an HD Vanitas, which was super sweet. And then, you know, the rest of the stuff, pretty okay. Illustrated Sephiroth, 6-star. We got the Illustrated Terra A, 6-star. And then we got our guaranteed tier 7, 7-star as HD Kingdom Hearts 2 Leon. But then we did the trait roll for this medal, and what we got was damage and raids. So I put it on my HD Vanitas that had extra attack and an initial damage and raids. So after that, I ended up just throwing an attack boost 6 max, Lux++ on it, and now this thing is a raid boss killer on my fairy stars. So now it copies the 3rd upright blue slot and is copying it with 2 raid traits as well as extra attack. So just an overall good raid medal in the very end. So we did 2 pulls earlier today, and this was the first pull. Unfortunately, just very lackluster. We got 2 7-stars. One of them is a tier 2. We got the guaranteed tier 7 7-star, and I'm sorry, we also got an additional 7-star as the Timeless River Pete in the bottom right there. The copycat medal we got was the Beagle Boys, which is not good, but they do have a very special place in the game because they are a tier 3 copycat medal, and that's the only tier 3 copycat medal that exists. It's going to cost 5 gauges, so that's the way you get around special events where it's like you can only use medals with a special attack gauge cost of 4 or more, 5 or more, 3 or more, whereas the other copycat medals minus the new illustrated Rai, Cypher, and Fu, that's the only one that fills that SP gauge criteria of being cost 3 or higher. So that's just a really good medal to have. And then moving on to our final one, and I guess I kind of gave it away with that. So we pulled a 3rd time, and unfortunately the rest of the pull up until the last 2 medals are not very good, but we did finish strong with a key art Sky, and then we did get the illustrated Rai. So much to my dismay, where I said illustrated Rai would have been the worst one to get, we got Rai, and you know what, we got it on the 3rd pull. We saved 6,000 jewels, so I have very little to complain about. So these were the 3 pulls that I did on this banner, and I feel like I'm gonna stop here just because I don't want to just keep pulling on it. Again, Kingdom Hearts 3 is right around the corner, and as you can see in my top there, I've only got like 6,000 jewels, so we're kind of falling on the low end. So I think I'm gonna stop here, and what we are going to do with the rest of this video are just kind of display the traits that I'm going to get on these medals. So I already showed you the trait that I got on the HD Vanitas. We are going to go ahead and trait our Beagle Boys. So right now it has ground enemy defense minus 60%. I think it's worth gambling it just because it's only got 1 orb, so it's really far away from guilt. And if we get extra attack on this thing, it's just going to be beastly. So that's just my take on it. And as a tier 3, you know, I'm not really using it for damage purposes. So again, that's just how I feel about it. Let's go ahead and see. We might as well just give it a shot to see if we can overwrite that attack boost all and give it to our one that already has ground enemy defense minus 60. So here we go. Here's our trait on our Beagle boys. We are going to get... Ooh, sleep resist. Okay, not what we're looking for, but again, we are not disappointed because we still got ground enemy defense minus 60% on this medal. It's not extra attack, but still a good trait. All right, let's move on to our Key Art Sky. So here is our boosted 7-star Key Art Sky with attack boost 7 max on it. Let's see if we can get something really good to pair with this aerial enemy defense minus 60%. So we're looking for strength plus 1000, ground enemy defense minus 60%, or the super sweet and coveted extra attack. So let's see what we can get on our Key Art Sky. This is actually pretty exciting because it's the second trait, so no matter what I get, I'm getting a trait, but I'm hoping it's one of those super great damaging traits. So we're gonna get... Yeah, let's go! Okay, so we have... This is actually, I believe my only reverse, like backwards copying copycat medal that has both aerial and ground on it, which is gonna be super useful for certain events such as PvE when they have like Fenrir be the boosted blade for the month or something like that. This is gonna be just super good, and honestly I don't know if I want to keep rolling traits on this to see if I can get extra attack on it. I wouldn't even know what to replace. It's just, oh, that's just so good, so good. Okay, so we pulled from the trait board to get 5 trait medals for our illustrated Rye. So before we go into this, let's set some expectations. So I want, if we can get a perfect setup of extra attack, ground, aerial, and 2 strength plus 1000 traits, that would be just broken. I have a few more VIP coins that I don't know if I want to use on more traits for this guy until we kind of figure out later on if they're going to slap us with another additional VIP coins board. So let's go ahead and see what we can get. Luckily, this guy already came with attack boost 6 max, so if I don't get extra attack, maybe I can, you know, kind of skip by with attack boost 6. Wait. If I don't get extra attack, maybe I could skip by using only attack boost 6 max versus like attack boost 8 max SP gauge 1. So here's our first trait. Let's see what we can get. Let's hope we can get one of those 5 traits that I mentioned earlier. So our first trait, if we can get extra attack, this would be lovely. This would be absolutely great. We're gonna get okay, max gauge is plus 2. So not particularly good, but the fact that this is a 6 gauge cost medal, I can't be too upset with that. We're gonna try and again use more trait medals on this, see if we can get one of those damaging traits, because that would be great. That would save us a lot of effort in future events where we can just use copy medals to have ground minus 60 to do that sort of damage. So we're gonna get damage in raids. Don't really know how I feel about that quite yet, because for me personally, if I have damage in raids on a medal, I want a Lux plus skill on there. So we'll see what we get. If we get perfect raid traits, I maybe I'll have to just use a Lux plus skill on this. So I'm not really sure what I plan on doing, but let's see what we can get. We have 3 more traits. We're looking for at the very least ground minus 60 and extra attack. So for our third one, we're gonna get nice. We got ground enemy defense minus 60%, which is just a great trait. It's been showing to be more superior than aerial enemy defense minus 60% because there's just way more ground enemies out there. So I am happy with this trade. This is going to be super sweet. If we get extra attack on this, that would seal the deal. And then if we get aerial enemy defense minus 60%, that would just be the icing on the cake at that point. So we got 2 more traits. Let's see what we could whip out with our final 2 traits for now. We might do more traits on this later. We got... Oh, snap. Okay. So on our tier 8, 2 medals back, copycat medal, we have both ground and aerial. Oh, man, this is sweet. Okay. So all we need now is extra attack, and that would just be it. That seals the deal. That would make this medal OP, and that would make me cray, because I need to go buy an avatar board that has attack boost 8 max, SP gauge 1, but I'll take it. That's worth the risk. We're going to do the no looker for the last one. Here we go, guys. We're going to get Yeah, damage and raids. Okay. Gosh, I don't know how I feel about this because it's like halfway perfect Coliseum traits, halfway perfect raid traits. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how I feel about this medal right now. These are great traits. Don't get me wrong. These are fantastic traits. It's still, at this rate, I can still use Attack Boost 8 Max Lux Plus. It's not giving me the Lux Plus Plus, but I mean, it's still a really decent amount of damage coming from this one medal, especially if I need to kind of speed through a raid boss and just deal more damage to it quicker. So these are very, 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 very good traits. So I have, let's take a look. So if we go to the actual avatar boards, I have 50 more VIP coins left, and that is 5 more traits we could potentially buy for our illustrated Rai. But I don't know if I want to pull on the copycat banner maybe 1 or 2 more times, and then if I get like Cypher or Fu, I kind of want to have traits for them too. So kind of up in the air how I feel about it, but maybe I'll do more pulls later, and then we will go from there. So as always, everyone, let's actually just head back to our illustrated ride. We can kind of just display the super sweet traits we got on this. So with that said, if there are any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop them down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer when I have the time. But as always, everyone, until next time, take it easy.